have many wares.
Beacon. Glimmer. I'm gonna need you guys to not kill anything.
No.
Are you guys grouping up in retail?
Yep.
Yeah, but let's start right at 7, yeah?
Yep.
So we have a 4-man ZG to go do.
You gonna crush it?
Will die.
How many people signed up? 8.
Between the two of them, I think like 8 or so.
9.
9. But it was like that all
I'm
the last
always
couple of weeks.
going,
Yeah.
but I forgot to sign up.
I may or may not go. Depends how I feel.
Huh.
We're up to 11 now.
Should just say the first 20 are going. People will start clicking it pretty quickly.
By the way, for those of you guys that have 2 accounts, you recruited a friend yourself, right? Because that was totally the way to do.
No, I did the hard way.
It gives you free game time if you recruit a friend yourself.
Oh.
Which or needs free game time?
I think I still have like 6 months paid.
Where's Wagon US's retail character?
It's level 10.
Are you guys Horde?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's still listed in Group Finder as Balls is old. I can change it to Jaded is old if you prefer.
Oh, yeah. Group Finder.
Do we have mana users we can let this guy drain us so he can explode?
Nice drums.
We do.
Thanks.
Nice lust.
Is it in custom or is it at?
It's in custom. It's in custom.
Yeah,
sorry.
custom. We can summon you.
Slap, you ready?
No, holy shit.
Ready?
Dude.
What am I watching? Oh, dude, the soccer ball. I have that somewhere.
One more click.
All you need is 2. You summoned the goose boy.
I know.
Who's this?
That's Free Frost.
I've never heard of his server either.
What server is he on?
Huge.
Tortheldrin?
Wow.
Tortheldrin? I don't know.
This is like my 10th vault.
Dolly and Dot are my best friends. They pull my wagon through dunes of sand. They have small teeth and they love to eat. They're the best packers in all the land.
What just happened?
It's Moret's jukebox.
What was
It's
I
a
listening
toy.
to?
I can't use that item.
Guys, everyone should pick up a foam sword. God damn it.
Look ridiculous.
It's not ready yet. It's still recharging. I can't use that item. It's still recharging.
Almost have enough to do this on a private server for real.
It's not ready yet.
Just saw my mouse.
Nice, dude.
I'm here, but I'm watching on my phone, okay?
I can't use that item yet.
No.
Has your phone got a 4K screen?
It's good enough.
I don't know. It looks like Slappy is streaming in fucking 640 by 40.
Nokia 1100?
I got my stream up too, Zara. If you figured Discord would be shit, I can post it.
Well, then there'll be an audio delay, and that'll just be even fucking worse.
True. I don't know if you need to have it like completely current.
Yeah, the delay isn't too bad.
I'm just gonna be standing.
Yeah, what's your
I
stream?
heard that if you subscribe to Snowme on Twitch Prime, the delay goes away.
Just Slappy play on like
Only
a
with
tethered
Twitch
phone or
Prime?
something.
No, only if you subscribe to Snowme with Twitch Prime.
I actually have a good computer.
7, let's go.
9700K. I have a RTX 2070 Super.
Is that good?
It's not bad.
I got a 1080 Ti, whatever that means.
Yeah, I got one of those too. A hybrid too.
What's a hybrid?
I got a
The
2080.
water
Water
cooled.
cooled. Little bitches.
Oh. Yeah, mine's a fan cooled though.
I just got a sick deal on it, so
You sure it doesn't run on electricity and gasoline?
I might.
Alright, okay, so we're starting this shit now. Hopefully everyone's here. We're gonna start with trash. This is the first trash mob that we're gonna deal with, Obsidian Eradicator. What it does is it does a mana burn and it does a mana drain. So basically it's gonna drain mana from people that are around it. I'm gonna pull it here in a second and we're gonna see how much mana it drains. Obviously everyone's marking to resist it, so it's kind of like meaningless, but if it gets to 100% mana, it will blow up and do a shit ton of damage and probably wipe us. So we need to kill it. And if we need to kill it like super quickly, and we potentially would want warlocks to drain mana and priests to mana burn it.
Serpent Sting's a lot stronger. Just saying.
Viper Sting.
Oof.
Viper Sting, yeah.
Correct the correction.
Good, it's going to drain mana. We can let it explode.
That's going in your file too.
My file must be a few pages long by now.
So this takes a while. We also don't have that many mana users, so presumably that affects it. I don't know whether that's the case or
Need
not.
to actually wait.
Yeah.
Then we get the gist. I mean, otherwise it's gonna take us 6 hours to do this.
Okay. Now we have these. You'll see they have debuffs. No one do anything to them. It will be one of a few different types of debuffs. There's Fire and Arcane Reflect. There is Shadow and Frost Reflect. There's Mending. There's Knock Away. There's Thorns. There's Thunderclap. There's Mortal Strike. There's this one that's called Shadow Storm. Oh, Mock's dead already. Look at that. And then there's a Mana Burn. So basically what happens is when you kill one of these guys, the other 3 and then 2 and then 1 will get the ability that you have. So you want to kill in a specific order, depending on what it is. Typically you kill the Reflex first because those are like super easy to deal with. And then the Shadow Storm one, it will periodically AoE everyone outside of 20 yards. The Thunderclap one will periodically AoE inside of like 10 yards. So it's basically we're just gonna have to have everyone pay attention to the kill order and everyone kill it in the appropriate order. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Just we're gonna mark things, and then you are going to 100% have to kill the one that we tell you to kill on time. Otherwise, it's gonna make it very, very hard.
Kill reflex, and then
They also
Yeah,
they also
reflex.
full heal when you kill one, so none of the damage on the other ones matter.
You kill reflex, then I think you kill mending, then like thorns and mortal strike, Really, the big ones are Thunderclap and Shadowstorm.
So those would be ultra last, basically, then.
Yeah.
So that you don't get multiples.
And the knock away one also is a threat reset, so that's a thing. I just need to kill this fucker.
Pretty sure one makes them taunt immune too. I think it might be knock away.
It is knock away.
That one's hella gay.
Alright, this is the same thing. There's gonna be 4 more of these guys. They're all tied together, and this one's mending. That one is the knock away. This one is Fire and Frost Reflect, and then the last one is Mana Burn.
Those things toasted him. You're just chilling.
Blah blah blah. These are pretty straightforward. Again, you just need to listen to us. Alright, so Scarab's here. Don't get close to it, Mock. I don't want you to face pull it, because I'm going to show everyone where the... We're going to pull this. There's going to be 3 different platforms. Is it /WM or something?
Yeah, WM space 1, 2, 3, etc.
I want to just do it, dude. I'm lazy and terrible. Okay. Just mark here, mark here, and mark here.
Ian, assist.
You have to give us assist.
Great. There you go. Everyone has assist. We're going to have specific melee assigned to each of these spots. Your job is going to be boring as fuck, but you're going to sit there the entire time. And the most important thing that you can do as a melee is kick. So we're going to have doubled up assignments. It's going to be a rogue and a warrior for each kick assignment. And kick. It's more important than anything else. Like, damage is nice, but this boss has no fucking health. The ranged will run up to the top here when the fight begins, and they'll do shit from this position while the melee are down below. So what this boss will do is every 25% of his health, he will split into 3 things. And you're gonna have two clones, and one is the real boss. And he's gonna randomly blink to one of these things. So it will be like him here, a clone in the middle, and a clone there, or like it could be any order. And the name of the game is you want to kill the clones as soon as possible because they have all of the abilities that he has, and it does the same amount of damage, but they have much, much less health. So when we identify kill targets, that's going to be just what you need to do. What's up?
Can you stop spinning?
Sorry.
It makes your stream quality shit, and it's making me nauseous.
Is it possible, do you think, in Classic for both of the, or for him and one of his clones to get stacked, or for both the clones to get stacked on one side? Because I saw that shit in retail.
He teleports to random locations. One of the 3 locations, it's like a random or a timed teleport. So all throughout the fight, he can teleport to one of the 3 locations, and that ability is also with the clones. So
Gotcha. So he might just teleport right on top of a clone, basically.
Yes.
Yes, he can do that. They can all be you can have a situation which they're all stacked on top of one another.
That's why we're staying stacked on the 3 sides the entire time. Because if he teleports, he drops threat, and then if no one's in his melee range with aggro, he starts earth shocking people for like a bajillion damage. So you need to have people there ready to pick them up.
So the 2 major actual abilities that he has is he will mind control people, and there will be 1 per clone. So if there's 2 clones up, then there will be 3 mind controls. They just need to be sheeped. Apparently, a strategy on private servers was to snowball the people while they're running around before they get sheeped. So I have a few hundred snowballs that I can give out to the melee if that works. Then the other thing is he has an arcane explosion that is casted, and it does a massive amount of arcane damage, so it needs to be kicked. That's what the kick assigns are for. But yeah, I was gonna try to see if I can whittle this guy's health without actually killing him.
Do you have a blacksmithing hammer or something?
Yeah, this is the earth shock that he does. It should spawn now. See how it spawned in all the different locations. And it's basically going to be like, this one's a clone, kill it as soon as possible. This other one's a clone, kill it as soon as possible. And he'll do that over and over again. And it's important that you stop damage on the real one and do damage to the clones, because we'll get overwhelmed with various things.
You can tongues them too to make the kicks easier. If
Yeah,
we wanna do that.
we're gonna have tongues on it for sure. But it's pretty straightforward. Sheep the MCs, stay in your side spot, kick the fucker. That's it.
So will the assignments be made clear like before?
Yes, the assignments will be made very clear, what platform people are assigned to, etc. Okay, so these trash packs. Say again? Gang?
Never mind.
What did you say? Yeah, whatever.
Just the NPCs up there.
Yeah.
Those are where you turn in the insignias and the there's like insignias and some other thing that drop, and it starts a quest like the drop, and if you don't accept the quest, you can pick up like as many as you can carry. So a lot of people
You
pick
can
them all
still
up.
pick up a ton.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about the ones off the ads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the Lord's insignias. Yeah. Those you don't like. Just if you want high rep, don't turn in your stuff immediately. That's the name of the game. But yeah, everyone will get exalted pretty quickly.
You don't want to turn in anything until you've hit neutral at least. Then you can start turning stuff in. And
that's also where you turn in your set pieces.
Yeah. And on top of that, you want to always loot the bosses, because they'll always drop a Lord Insignia. All right, so these packs, it's a Brainwasher and 2 Guardians. The Guardians are super easy to do. You just tank them with your back against a wall. Easy peasy. The Brainwashers, they do a mana burn, they do a mind flay, and they do a mind control. So it's basically murder this guy as quickly as possible. And then tank the Guardians with your back against a wall, because they'll do this impale that will knock you back.
Look at that cute little bugger's little dance that he does when he attacks you. How could he be dangerous?
Was the knock back there a threat drop?
I don't think so. Is it?
I don't know. I just saw it, like it knocked you back and then it went on to me.
I think it might be.
Did you put any threat in it though?
It might be. It's not a big deal though. They're easy.
They're tauntable, so it's kind of whatever. All right, guys, stay back. You're not allowed to kill anything, by the way. That's just the no one kill anything, please. All right. So down here, this is the way to the bug trio. It's the same thing with this pack. You kill the Brainwasher first. It's real easy.
Wow, you just destroyed him, dude. That looked really easy.
See, bro, that's the first Scarab Coffer. He's right there.
Can we just bring Slappy with 1Y to the raid and have him just fucking nuke everything?
Yeah, dude. Alright, so here's a bug trio. We should clear out the ads first.
You kite these out, right?
Yes, we'll pull them out of the room. Okay. So the bug trio's loot is
We got
different.
some things behind us.
Don't kill those, please. God damn it. When I say don't kill anything, I mean don't kill anything.
There's one more pack of that trash, so you can explain it.
Okay, well, I'll just explain it now. There's these things called Vecnus Warriors. There'll be 3 of them, and what happens is the second that they die, they explode into like 10 very, very small bugs that just need to be AoE'd down. It's not a huge deal. Don't Nova them in melee or they'll fuck everything up. and just stagger their kill times.
Okay, so we're gonna go
mainly
for the stagger as opposed to kill them all at once and then nuke everything at once approach.
I mean, you could try that. I mean, it'd probably be bad.
We should do them one at a time. And you can have a warrior AoE taunt lip each one if we want to try that. But we can also just have them AoE taunt with the shield on.
All right, so this is Bug Trio. The order that you kill them in matters. Specifically, which one dies last matters. We're going for the wand, so we're going to be killing Lord Kree last, which means he's going to just be tanked over in Africa somewhere. What we're going to do is we're going to kill Princess first. She does an AoE fear. That's going to be a huge pain in the ass to deal with. She'll dispel, if she's close to any of the other things, she'll dispel them. That doesn't really matter for us because we're killing her first. And she does a heal that is interruptible, so just kick the heal when you can. After she's dead, we're going to kill Them. Them charges, he kind of like knocks you back, but for the most part, he's like a tank and spank, super easy. And then Lord Kree does an AoE poison, and he does a frontal cleave. So you just, this fight's pretty much a straightforward.
They do abilities on death too.
Yeah. On death, what's Yao do again? Fuck.
Yauj spawns a bunch of minions when Yauj dies.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you just have mages AoE them down.
Yeah, that one's easy. And then Them enrages.
Them enrages the other people. So Kree, in this case, would just be enraged.
So in the order that we're doing, we're just going to save all of our cooldowns for Kree. And after we kill them, like Kree's going to be doing a fuckload of damage, so we're going to need to nuke them. But I'm pretty sure the poison bolt volley is a dot, so we have shamans. And...
It is. You can just cleanse it off. But yeah. I'm just going to kill these quickly because they knock me around. It's a huge pain in the ass. There's the enrage. Just watch this guy do a poison Nova.
Oh, dude, look. The vengeance only lasts 10 minutes, so we can just kite him for 10 minutes. Easy.
Yeah, that
oh
works.
yeah. We can kite him to Twin Emps as
well.
well.
Alright, it's a stackable poison, so it's going to be a complete joke to deal with. The tooltip hasn't changed, so it's kind of like... Oh, and he drops a poison cloud on death.
Oh, boy.
I died from my corruption.
I can res you.
He drops a poison cloud on death. Don't stand in it melee. Just get out. We can deal with loot later on.
Where are we
All right.
today,
This is the boss we're gonna kill last. Like last, as in after everything else is dead in here, because its loot is pretty shit. But it's right here, so we're gonna go over it. Okay. Into here. This is just basically gonna be packs that we pull slowly. Each one of these is gonna be tanked individually by a warrior. It's pretty straightforward. They do, what is it that they do again?
Charge.
Yeah, they do a charge.
When one dies, they all charge the person tanking the one that was being charged, or the one that died.
On private servers.
Okay, see, these are the warriors. This is the different group. See the white ones? I'm gonna kill this one, and it's gonna spawn a whole bunch of little bugs, and we just AoE them down. It's not a big deal. Just be aware of it. This is pretty straightforward.
Not talking about positioning.
You just tank them with your back against the wall. Like it shouldn't matter that much, to be honest.
I'm out of
Alright, so Tura, this is going to be dependent on the rogues, because these are all stunnable. So what's going to happen is no one is allowed to use any stun abilities unless it's called for. Because rogues are going to be in charge of stuff, and we really don't want to put the rogue stuns on DR. if for any reason this should never happen, you shouldn't be able to charge. But if you get super far away from one of these things, do not intercept. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to chain stun the ads and her for as long as we can. They will do a whirlwind and kind of just pick someone to go after. If you get fixated, don't get hit. But most importantly, if you get fixated, whatever you do, do not go over to this far side, because you will pull the gauntlet, and that is a big problem. So we're going to basically be doing her on this side of the room rather than the far side. And spread out a little bit so that if you specifically get targeted and the ads or her whirlwind you, you're not killing the entire raid. You're just killing yourself and maybe one friend. But mostly everything's going to be stunned to death. The ads don't have much health, so they'll die quickly, and the boss is stunnable as well. So it's pretty straightforward.
You can't stun the boss during a whirlwind too, right? So you have to.
You can't stun any of them during a whirlwind, I'm pretty sure, right? Can you?
So you have to. If we have timers, we want to try to stun it right before a whirlwind goes off.
Yeah. But the first one should die like very, very quickly, and it's all about rogues, like cheap shot, kidney shot, vanish, cheap shot, etc. None of you guys are going to be running like deep enough prot to have conk blow, right? So
all these things are tauntable, by the way. All the bosses we've gone over so far.
Also, this boss is like the #1 place ever to use lips, because it just makes them do nothing.
Pretty much everyone should be bringing a bunch of lips, especially mages. Mages need to bring a ton of lips.
This is one thing I was interested in. When you lip the fixate, does it keep fixating on you?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
But if they fixate you and they get close, you can just lip and just laugh as they do nothing to you. But yeah, I don't know whether lip will prevent them from fixating you. All right, this is a gauntlet. Things respawn faster than the suppression room. These things are little dudes that can just get AoE down and basically treat these soldiers like they are hatchers. Keep in mind that they have an aura that makes everything attack faster around them, so we want to just keep that in mind. But we're going to be moving here quickly, so if there's not really going to be an opportunity to drink, and if there is drinking going on, it's not going to be for very long because of how
I remember we just stayed mounted the whole time to the end.
You get days though. Even like now, we're getting days.
I think the blue guys have a slow or hamstring.
They do a chain cleave, so it's
so
very deadly.
You need to definitely not be in front of them because you'll get half of everyone cleaved. All right. This is something important. This is Fankris. He has a massive, massive aggro range. So we're going to want to try to line of sight him. There's a couple different safe spots. One is back here. And we're going to have ads spawn on us. It's going to be like Broodlord, essentially. There's a couple other spots. This is like a risky one up here. We'll see what it ends up being. But he aggroes you from like miles away. Like Mock, are you at where we are basically? I'm pretty sure if you come up to where Square is, or like even like if you pass where this turtle is right now, you'll pull him.
Only the little guys respawn in the tunnel too, so we might want to just consider taking a safer spot and just clear the little guys again.
Yeah,
it's better than face pulling the boss and having people being half mana and shit. And rage mobs.
So this guy does a couple of things. First off, he stacks a debuff on tanks that is a very small mortal strike. It is 10% reduced healing, stacking continuously. So that's going to become a factor. I'm assuming we're tank swapping. I know you can kill it without
he's
doing
tauntable.
but
He's tauntable, and you just have one. It's a frontal cleave that does the stacking debuff. So you just, when one person gets, let's say, 4 stacks, we'll just have the other tank run in front, taunt, take over.
throughout the duration of the fight, people are going to be teleported over to one of these cubby areas. You can see one over here. You can see one over here. And then there are going to be little ads that spawn. So I'm going to pull. No one do anything. There's going to be little ads that spawn. And those just get like pulled into the area with melee and passively AoE down. Mock's about to get murdered.
Do you keep taking the icon off yourself? Are you
Me?
putting on somebody else? Yeah, we should have an icon on you because there's so many of us in here.
Fair enough. I'm gonna put the star on
just
myself.
die. But I did aggro and I went to the square.
All right. So everyone
59
should be in here. Everyone just come in here. If you get teleported, say something. But he's gonna port people to various cubbies. Yeah, over here. See how he got ported, and he's in his little stun thing. So it's not a big deal. Just heal them. Bring those ads in. But more importantly, there's another ad that I don't remember their name, but it's a snake. The snakes need to be killed as soon as possible. That's the number one priority on this. This
Spawns, I think.
Big yellow worm.
It's a. We should see one soon.
Spawn of Fankris.
Yeah, spawn of
it's
Fankris.
typically one, right? But you can have more than
Yeah,
one.
there we go. There we go. Don't kill the next. Don't kill the next one, please. Please don't kill anything unless you're asked.
1 to 3.
Here we
It's
go.
hopefully 1, but sometimes you get 3.
You need to kill these basically as soon as possible. These are the most important part of this fight. If they're up for too long, I think it's like 20 seconds. Oh, son of a bitch! Still, don't kill it or anything. They will enrage and they will just one-shot everyone. They'll one-shot tanks. They do a huge amount of extra damage. This one should enrage pretty soon. There we go. It is 500% damage increase and 150% movement speed and attack increase and immune to taunt. So if this happens, we're just gonna have a very bad day. So it's when a spawn comes, it's everyone's job to just swap to it and kill it as fast as possible. And the other ads that we just deal with normally, and then we kill the boss. It's
Rage isn't trankable.
no, the enrage. You can't do anything with the enrage.
It's supposed to punish you for not killing what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Word.
This is an ad fight that lasts for a long time that happens to have a large bug that mortal strikes in the middle of it, pretty much.
I'm out of range.
What about these little ads? Are we just continually killing them?
Yeah, we'll just be continually killing them.
Rats, Blargamad.
So what we saw was when someone got ported, they all spawn on that person, and they were attacking them. But with heals going off, they're gonna get pulled to the group with heal aggro, and then the mages and shit will just AoE them.
Pretty much the entire group is going to be sitting on Fankris's ass, and everything will end up coming to range of that, and
When
mages
the
AoE everything.
when the spawns come, though, melee need to switch off the boss.
Yes.
They need to leave the boss's asshole.
Every single DPS player and any off tank that isn't actively tanking needs to immediately swap to the spawn and kill it. It's the most important thing that you can do.
We can charge those and everything, right? Like intercept them.
Yeah, the no stun thing is for Sortura.
Gotcha.
That's
How are those going to be as far as us being able to really pop off on them versus pulling aggro? Like, are we going to have to kind of
they're
watch aggro?
they're tauntable. They're tauntable. So
Okay,
The
so
spawns
basically-
are gonna die before you pop off that hard.
Yeah,
Don't worry about threat on them at all. Just
if
load them
if
up.
you die to pulling threat on them, then I'm just gonna be proud of you because that means that you're doing a shit ton of damage to it.
All right. Challenge accepted.
All right.
I don't think we have frost damage in here, Slappy.
Yeah, if you go in there, you'll
we
be
have
stuck
Mockthul.
in there.
We have Mockthul.
Is that enough?
I'm
You'll be
just
stuck in
gonna
there.
I'm gonna show everyone.
It should be fine. I've actually soloed it on a mage, so this should be fine. Although he's 69.
Nice. I'm still gonna show everyone. We're
I,
going to.
I can just switch to a
Vicidis'
mage
room.
and you guys can summon me.
Sure, go on a mage will summon you.
Fine, I won't Frost Shock spam.
You're gonna be
Alright.
dead.
So this is Vicidis.
Logical 3.
This fight, your actual damage numbers don't matter at all through the majority of the fight. The first thing is he needs to be hit with 250 frost attacks. Maybe it's 150. I don't remember.
It's one. It's 1, 2, and 3. It like ramps up, I think.
Okay.
It's 200 free.
He'll emote when he's a third of the way there. He'll emote when he's like very close to it, and then he'll freeze solid. So basically, you want to just do as many frost, do as much frost damage to him as like possible, as many frost attacks, I should say. Which is why some of us are getting Cold Rage Dagger. Like, casters should be just frost wanding. Throughout this, he will be doing an AOE Poison Nova around him. Additionally, he'll be throwing out bolts, and I think he put something on the ground too, right?
Yep.
Clouds, yeah.
Yeah, cloud. Just don't stand in it, pretty much. With our balanced comp and most of our melee having frost damage weapons, we should be able to freeze him very quickly. Once he's frozen, it's the second part of the first phase. In this part, the only thing that matters is the number of attacks he gets hit with physically. So, like, even casters can come in and start, like, slapping him around, if you can, with your daggers or swords or staves. But it's mainly going to be carried by, like, all the melee hitting super quickly. Then he's going to do what's called Shatter. When he shatters, he will split into 20 little mini slimes that will go to the very edges of the room. They'll spawn there, and they will slowly move towards the center. Once they all get together in the center, they will reform as Vicidis, and the amount of health that he has will be proportional to the number of them you've killed. There's 20 of them. Each one of them represents 5% of his health. If you get one of them very low but don't kill it, then that doesn't count. The name of the game that we're going to play for this is you can do some single target damage while they're coming in, but when they're close together, every single person with engineering is going to pop a sapper charge. Every single person without engineering is going to go to Unguro Crater and get a crystal charge and use that. And mages are going to AoE in addition to that. And we should have the damage to be able to kill it in a single phase. And if that happens, then the boss is over and we win. If that doesn't happen, it goes back to phase 1 again, where it's all about frost attacks.
So something that I saw on, like, when I was watching videos is they said that you can get him to like 1% health even if you kill all the first group of slimes. Then you just have to freeze him one more time and then he just basically dies. Is that accurate, or can you truly kill him with the first slimes phase?
You should be able to kill him with the first slimes phase. I didn't do this back in the day, so I don't know. And I've seen some videos of private servers where it looks like that, so I can't say for sure.
Okay.
Be prepared to shatter him again.
Yeah, just
It's just a repeatable fight. So it's get through the first iteration and it's infinite. So it's whatever.
When the videos that I saw, he actually, like, because he takes a small amount of damage during the shattering phase, I think. Like, they killed all the first slimes, they froze him, and then he died before he actually became...
I don't think he's actually immune to damage. I think he just takes 99% less damage, which is why he just took a giant chunk of his health.
You want to just try to kill him, or what are we doing? Are we standing around?
No, just try to freeze him. Okay, so this poison volley is a dot. We have shamans, so what's that? Okay, so he's frozen right now. It's all about the raw number of attacks that we can do. Can we attack him quickly and not murder him?
I cannot.
Casters just fucking staff him or something.
Only like 2.
Oh, there's also that poison cloud. I think it does more damage than the volley.
Yeah. Pretty much us having shamans makes this fight a lot easier. All right, well, he just got killed because someone was doing fire damage to him for some reason. But he'll split up and perform the 20 gobbles and then come back into the center. If you ever did Siege of Orgrimmar, it's like a Mercius, basically. A Mercius is a redone version of this. So again, this is why Wargun wants everyone to be engineering. You should all sapper charge there. If you aren't engineering, there is what's called a crystal charge, which is from Unguro Crater. It is a shittier version of a sapper charge. Go get them. Get multiples. Go farm them. It's pretty straightforward. You can just buy the power crystals. It's turning it in at one of the. You turn them in at one of the.
Pylons.
Pylons.
If you need a link on how to get them, just PM me in Discord, and I can point you in the right direction. I'll send you an engineering leveling guide.
We're gonna have a new channel for kind of just AQ questions and shit, so we can post it all there. And we're gonna have stuff.
We're gonna have 2 new channels, and then there's gonna be like a large post going up in announcements. But there's gonna be a channel that is all the resources, good resources for AQ. Everyone's gonna be expected to go through that, watch the videos for the bosses. There's a couple full clears. It's only like 40 minutes. You should watch the entire thing, preferably more than once. And there'll be like a trash guide, stuff like that. Just please familiarize yourself with all the material, and then there'll be a questions channel where you can just ask any of us.
Can we get a consume guide and stuff that's telling us what we should be
It'll
bringing?
all be
Like
up there.
lips?
Yeah,
Okay, it'll all be up
everything
there.
will be up
Awesome.
there. Yeah. And then there's going to be an announcement, basically setting what our expectations of everyone is, because basically this is the first raid with real personal responsibility, and if you
fuck us,
it's a 40-man raid. We can't afford to have someone wipe us once each. If that happens, we'll wipe 40 times, and that's just completely fucking absurd. So that basically is not allowed to happen. If you continually making one mistake is one thing, but if you make a very dumb mistake, especially if you make it repeatedly, or if it's something like incredibly avoidable, then you will probably end up sitting out the rest of progression, which sucks. No one wants to miss that. But if you're a hindrance to the group, you're not going to be in. If that means pulling with 48 or 38 people, then we'll do that. What's up?
I'm not sure these scorpions are tauntable. My note says to be careful with thread because they're not, so my notes could be wrong. It seems like they are.
I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure everything in the instance is tauntable until you get to Hoo-Hoo Run. Like all of this trash too.
Yeah, I just taunted it. I don't know if retail's different or not.
Alright. So these packs, we're going to have a kill order specifically for things. There's a differing way that people do it. Some say kill the Sartura ad last. Others say kill it first. CFG, I haven't actually heard your opinion on this. You're probably the one that's done this the most recent. And then there's wasps. We're going to probably kill the stinger first because the 2 different wasp types have interactions with one another. One of them puts a point on you, the other one detonates it. So it's going to be basically stick to the kill order. We'll figure out exactly what we'll figure out exactly what the kill order is. Just follow it when you're told. The Sartura ads will, again, they'll fixate in the whirlwind. They'll do everything that the other thing does. So just keep that in mind. Anyway.
I think they have big aggro radiuses too, and they knock you. So I think this is a room where you like pull back.
Did you kill these Sartura ads? Yeah, we would be pulling everything back kind of towards the direction of the hallway that we just came from. Did you kill the Sartura ads first, or did you kill the wasps first?
To be honest, I can't remember. I think we killed the bugs first, and then the girl bug things after.
Yeah. Okay.
Morgan, you said you remember killing the Sartura ad first, right?
I've done it both ways. Just as long as the Sartura ad gets pulled out of the raid, it's
Where
trivial.
are we fighting Hoo-Hoo in this room or the previous room?
Please don't pull this. We're fighting Hoo-Hoo in the room we're about to run into.
It doesn't really zone pull like the other.
Yeah.
Like
well,
Baker.
Yeah.
I know. I just remember killing her in the previous room back in the day.
Weird. This is Hoo-Hoo. One thing that is critical, absolutely critical, is you are not allowed to cleanse poisons on this fight. There will be a poison that goes out that puts people to sleep in an AoE. It will typically be on the melee, and everyone in melee will be put to sleep for like 12 seconds. You cannot dispel that. If you dispel it, it does a huge amount of nature damage to that person. So don't do that unless very specifically called for. No abolish poison, no poison cleansing totems, none of that.
I think it's just the main tank, right?
Yeah, you wanna do it to the tank if
Yeah,
it won't kill them.
If it's the tank, you can do it to him, but
as long as the burst, like Morgan just said, isn't gonna kill them.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, the boss is pretty straightforward. There's going to be an enrage that hunters need to trank. Hunters are going to be standing basically in melee, so when the trank needs to happen, they're going to step out and shoot and then run back in. We will have I think we're going to try to brute force it first pull, and then if that doesn't work, we're going to do NR. Basically, everyone's saving all of their cooldowns for when she hits 30%. And then you just want to burn it into the ground as fast as possible because it will be permanently enraged. And there will be a poison volley that will hit the 15 closest players to her that does just shit tons of nature damage. So everyone's expected to have like greater nature protection pots and stuff. That will be covered in consumables later. But basically, this is like Veil, except on steroids, because you can die very, very, very quickly. It's a DPS race for the last little bit.
Hunters probably don't need to be melee either, given we have like 17 melee in our guild. But
they just have a lot of really good nature resist. Okay, fuck, dude. I don't know.
You gotta put your like a blacksmith hammer on.
No, it's Crackling Jade Lightning doesn't do that much damage. Something procced on it. I just don't know what.
Watch the guides. They'll show the fight better than they can be shown on here.
It's just more about positioning and just, yeah.
Yep.
Basically, we're gonna tanker here. It's to familiarize some people, and now I'm stuck in combat for ages for some reason.
Why is he fighting? Is someone up there fighting a defender?
Hopefully not.
Pelargamad is fighting somebody. Like, who is that?
Guys, don't.
Just remove them. Just remove them. We've said it 4 times. It's not rocket science.
I didn't kill anybody.
It's not
It doesn't matter. Okay, so Anubis Knots defenders. These are different from the earlier ones. Basically, there'll be one of 2 different types. There'll be meteors, or they will be disease. Dude.
Just kill this one. It's whatever.
Okay, so if they're meteors, then everyone needs to stack up. And when we say everyone stack up, like, I don't give a shit if you're casting like the biggest damage spell of your life. You're stacking with the group because it splits all the damage amongst everyone that's been hit with it. If we don't all stack up, that's going to be a problem. Then the other thing that it can be is disease. And that if that's the case, we're all kind of stacked very closely. And if someone gets the disease put on them, they just run off pretty far away. If you don't move out, it will spread it and do damage. So please don't fuck us over. When
they have 4 abilities, right? So it's Plague or Meteor.
Plague or Meteor. Everything will be one of the 2 of them.
Stacks. You need 2 stacks at the beginning, and then depending if you get Thunderclap or Shadow Bolt, you either stay in 2 stacks or you collapse to 1 if you have Shadow Bolts, because you don't want the range eating Shadow Bolts.
Yeah. If it's Shadow Bolts, everyone runs into the melee. If it's Thunderclap, melee runs out, I think.
You just stay as 2 stacks if it's Thunderclap.
Okay. And then at 10%, they will either enrage or explode. If they enrage, it's going to fuck up the tanks. If it explodes, it's going to be like the Bat Riders, except faster. So you need to get the hell out of like melee. So you need to be ready for it to explode. Because you'll just get one shot by it. While we were fighting, these little Sartura ads will appear, or I think it can be another one of the another type of bug that will appear during it. So basically, Meteor or Plague, we're stacking for both, but for different reasons. Shadow Storm or Thunderclap. If it's Shadow Storm, everyone moves into melee. If it's Thunderclap, we stay split and enrage or explode. If it's enrage, just heal the tank. If it's explode, then we'll yell explode and you run away from it.
The ads get pulled out of the groups if possible. If it's a meteor, it can be kind of sketchy to do that. But they cleave, so tanks will have to kind of position themselves in a way where they're not gonna take a full meteor and they're not cleaving everybody. If it's plague, just pull it right out of the group.
All right, I'm gonna pull this next one. So this one is Fire and Arcane Reflect, which is a thing apparently still. He's the Shadow Storm, and he is a Plague. So right now I have the Plague on me. Periodically inflicts nature damage.
It's all people around you, though. It's like a barren bomb.
Yeah. It's to everyone, like within like 10 or 15 yards. So you just want to stay away from the group if that's the case. And since it's Shadow Storm, we'd all be stacking closer to melee, and then slowly whittle this down. Don't actually kill it. He should enrage or explode real fucking soon. Although meanwhile, these ads are spawning, and people are getting plague. It lasts a long time, so please don't. Please just be aware of it and get out as soon as you
I can poke them without killing.
I just try
Give
it.
it Noman.
Poke him again. Alright, he's in enrage. So he just will attack 60% faster. That's not too bad. Just gonna do a lot of damage to the main tank. Blah blah blah, rinse repeat with different variations of the thing.
These pat in directions around the room too, so the first quite a few we're gonna pull back.
Mm-hmm. This one's a meteor. This one is Shadow and Frost Reflect, and this one is AoE Shadow. So everyone in this case would be stacking in melee. I'm gonna try to whittle them down a little bit.
It was not uncommon to wipe to one of these back in the day, so obviously goof pulling a second one, you're definitely wiping us.
Can you like poke him a little bit? I swear to God.
If I attack him, I'm gonna kill him.
I'm slowly poking him. I'm poking.
Alright, he's at 13%. There he is. Alright, this is another enrage. Let's kill everything. Let's move up. I don't want to have to pull these things back. I just want an example of explosion.
Let's have a pop quiz on this one. Someone tell us what we do with the two abilities.
Alright, I'm gonna pull this, and you're gonna tell me. Someone's gonna tell me exactly what we're gonna do. Food, you're gonna tell me exactly what we're gonna do with this thing.
Well, I'm not shooting frost bolts at it so far.
Did you see its ability?
No, I didn't.
2 stacks.
Alright, it is thunderclapping right now.
It's Shadow and Frost Reflect.
You're also standing in a dumb spot and you're gonna get a second one slappy. You should be aware of your surroundings.
Stack up.
Alright, and it's also giving the plug out. So if this was the case, we'd be in 2 different stacks and everyone would just run away when they got plague.
Don't they all plague, or am I wrong about that?
No, he will give plague to people. It lasts 40 seconds, and for those 40 seconds, you're just getting the hell out of the group.
They can either plague or do the meteor mechanic.
Yeah, they're
one or the other.
Plague or meteor, thunderclap or shadow volley.
Got you.
This is also an enrage one, which sucks.
They all enrage.
They do not all enrage.
And even after the mob dies, we need to ensure that we all drop plague before we gather up again. Because that was common back in the day. Well, the mob's dead, let's stack up, and then we all get aids.
This one's Fire and Arcane Reflect. Okay, that was weird.
He was thunderclapping?
Hey, that one exploded.
That one just died super quickly. Alright, well that sucks. There's no good example of exploding. That's whatever.
Oh, big visual thing coming up in here.
Oh boy, dude.
RP.
It's Cthulhu's eye, dude.
Vagina.
The master's eye. Oh, it's my trinket. Thank you. Okay, so there are all these bugs in the room. Don't aggro them, please. We'll have a group of casters that are going to be killing the large ads, but for the most part, please don't pull these at all. Like, we can't clear the room. These respawn, so don't. That's not a thing. Okay, so we have two of these guys. The one with the sword is the one that is immune to all magic damage. Only physical attacks can do damage to him. For that, we will be tank swapping because he does an unbalancing strike, which is a large attack that lowers their defense by like 100. So if that happens, then he just gets. These are taunt immune, right?
Yeah, you tank it through that.
Oh, okay. That's the new strategy. Cool. You just tank it through that.
There's no way to avoid it. You just they're gonna need more healing. They're just basically when you're unbalancing strike, you're gonna get crit like all the time.
You're pretty much always gonna get crushed too, which is a problem. This guy over here, he casts Shadow Bolts. He'll be tanked by a Warlock. He basically Shadow Bolts, and then I think this is the one that he'll pick a bug, and the bug will turn giant and red and become aggressive. And there will be a team of casters that are assigned to kill the giant aggressive red bugs. One of the important things is that every 30 to 40 seconds, they will teleport to each other's location and completely drop threat. The person closest to the mob when it gets teleported there will be the one that gets aggro on it, like initially. So be aware of your positioning. If you're a melee, you kind of want to be sitting a little bit back so that there can be a warlock between you and the boss. So when the melee ad disappears and the new one appears, it's going to be on the warlock and not on you.
Before they teleport anyway, the melee.
Yeah, the melee run over. Yeah.
And so the warrior's always gonna pick up the initial aggro, and then the warlock for the caster one, the warlock will spam Searing Pain until the warlock pulls aggro.
If the lock is standing basically on top of the boss, then he'll.
Are we doing the torches?
No, because if anyone's in melee range of the caster one, they get knocked back really far. So that's why you.
A warrior has to pick it up initially, and a warlock needs to be a max range of him to take it off.
All right, that works.
The other thing that I remember is that like one of them just basically turns the bugs aggressive, and then they start attacking, and the other one makes the bugs into bombs.
So
that is true.
So the aggressive. Again, there will be a group assigned to killing the aggressive ones and the bomb ones as well.
So the aggressive ones do nature damage. So if there's a tank assigned to tank duty on the aggressive bugs, they should wear a small amount of NR. And then there's basically going to be fire, frost, and nature damage going out on this boss. So if you want to be a prepared parry, those are good protection potions for these.
If you're a DPS and one of the aggressive bugs goes on a tank, you need to taunt it immediately. Because I think it's the scorpions that can do a 70% armor reduction, and that would just be a wipe.
Could you maybe mark where the bosses will be tanked and where the ranged and melee will be standing, just because we won't be able to do it during actual AQ?
One of the important things is that if these guys get too close, they start healing each other like disgustingly large amounts. Skull is where we're initially pulling Vec to, and X is where we're pulling the other one too. That's far enough away.
You might want to pull them a little further away from the stairs, just to avoid
all right, then we can
I remember doing the torches.
Yeah, I always remember standing under the torches.
You can have them be under the torches. That works too.
I mean, that's where the Warlock tanks
do
did.
torches.
Warlock's tank stand there, yeah.
Okay.
The Warlock tanks stand where Diamond is.
Warlock tanks stand where
on the stairs.
Yeah, on the stairs, and the actual bosses are underneath the torches.
That looks a little too far to cast.
It is, but they'll be at the edge of the stairs. If you can see where Diamond is now, instead, it's kind of like at the edge of the stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's circle. All right, I'm gonna pull these. No one do anything. They're gonna heal a whole bunch. So
there's also gonna be a blizzard going out. Don't stand in it. A hard mechanic.
And if you're in melee range, 2 of the caster one, he can arcane explode as well.
So these guys are healing right now.
It's a big bug.
So it's a big bug. Got unbalancing strike.
What's your?
There is that. This entire time we'll have people picking up these ads and killing them. Casters will be assigned to it. They just swapped which ones they are. It's kind of yeah. If you could pull that to its appropriate spot, that'd be dope. There's the arcane explosion. You don't want to get too close to that.
So only the warrior tank should be taking that arcane explosion. In the first one, and then once you take it and the warlock has aggro, you go stand away from him until the next teleport, and then you come back to the torch.
And as you can see, this guy's turning them into bombs. They just get big. Don't stand anywhere near them. They don't aggro to you. They just explode. They should swap back in a second here. Here we go. This is the one that turns it to enrage. So yeah, if you see scorpions, I guess just pick them up.
I want to see the scorpion debuff if it's
I have to get hit by one, which is gonna be hard. I'll try.
Does the warlock need to move out of blizzard, or will blizzard mostly go on the other ranged?
I don't know.
I taught one of the scorpions.
The blizzard is just a cast throughout the room. I don't think it specifically targets a player or something like that, but
I think it just went right on top of my pet. Like
I mean, it's definitely getting cast on someone, not
it's being
necessarily.
it's being cast on someone, not necessarily the person that has threat.
But I think if it goes on the warlock just stays put and just says it's on them, and they get more heals.
Spam healed. Yeah.
I would guess though they would need to move for threat just because the knockback might suck once you're taking shadow bolts plus blizzard potentially.
if you have enough threat and you feel comfortable just moving and just announce it, and then people can hold back a little bit, like a lot of the damage on this boss is going to be melee damage, so the caster's holding back for a couple seconds so we don't lose the control is a lot more important than
isn't that always true
threat high
with the casters? Like, casters, the worst possible thing you could ever do on this fight is pull threat, because then you heal them and you're the absolute moron of the entire group.
No one should be pulling threat on this fight. It's very important that you don't, but casters need to be ultra careful because Searing Pain isn't actually a huge amount of threat.
And it's also you trust your...
It's 2 times. It should be pretty hard to take threat realistically.
But don't you kind of lean on the tank class and let your melee do probably 75% of the damage to the shared health pool?
No, casters do 1.5 times the damage because the boss has a third less HP the caster one does, but they share a health pool, so casters actually will do the most damage on this fight.
Oh, okay, all right, that was different because the guys I was saying was it was kind of a melee carried fight, but I guess that does make sense.
The old school thing that some people would do, which is retarded and dad gamery, is that casters would only kill the bugs, and melee would be doing 100% of the damage.
Ah, so it's a shadow of the old dad gamer strat. I see.
Correct.
Did we cover that the melee DPS and the caster DPS have to swap with their according boss?
Yeah. For melee, you're just gonna run across, and for casters, you're gonna move a little bit and start casting. That's pretty straightforward. When they swap positions, you just need to go to the one that you can actually do damage to.
It's important that melee leaves before the teleport happens too. Maybe 10 seconds before.
Yeah, melee will start running early for sure. There's gonna be a lot of downtime on this boss for melee, but that's just how things are.
It's the in my experience, it was the teleport that would kill us. Like being messy on the aggro on the teleport would get them back together. And then they'd heal, and then you're in trouble.
Well, like there's gonna be like instant heal aggro, which is the slightly concerning thing. But that's it.
The warrior that the teleport happens on is always gonna get like I don't
Initial
want
aggro.
I think it's like 5 to 10k.
It's like it's like 5k threat, I believe, from what I was seeing on Warlock Discord.
Nothing's gonna pull off of that immediately. So as long as other people aren't in range when that's happening, there shouldn't be threat issues.
Obviously, when you're tanking this, your back should be up against the wall.
Yes.
So where is the tank? When the caster is up, so there's a tank on each side and a warlock on each side. When the tank boss is on the melee side, right? The tank's on it, but then when the caster comes, where is the tank waiting in the
tank
wings?
Comes back toward the raid, toward the warlock, and then
So like by the stairs.
Yeah, and then right as the teleport happens, you run off the stairs and you go stand where the teleport's gonna happen.
And hope you don't get knocked back.
You could even drop right on that ledge, so you're a bit closer than the warlock and not get knocked back.
The only important thing is that you're the closest person to it as a warrior.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter that you're standing right on top of it. You actually want to be a little bit out of the range, and then once they teleport, then you run toward them. Then you run toward the melee one and tank it.
What's the knockback range?
Pretty fucking far.
10 to 15 yards.
It's very big, and the knockback is very significant. Right,
It's
I'm
at
gonna
least
kill this guy 'cause
15.
It's really annoying.
I'm pretty sure it could be like 20 or even higher for the arcane blast to go off, honestly.
Basically, the warlock should be the closest caster, and then the warrior should be right in front of the warlock. That's kind of how the positioning should go. And then when it's the melee guy, the warrior's, obviously tanking the boss, and the warlock should really never move.
And once warlock rips aggro, casters should be good to begin. Don't start attacking before the warlock gets it, but the second the warlock has it, casters should be fine.
Because at that point, the warlocks will have a healthy.
Warlocks already be like 5k plus or so.
All right.
Yeah.
Next thing is probably the most cancerous part of this, and that's Cthulhu trash. We will be pulling a whole bunch of these back into this room. Like, pretty much for the first while, we're pulling, like, a lot of these packs into the Twin Amps room. So I'm just going to do that right now.
These bugs are like social, by the way. So if you attack one, like if you alt tab while the Twin Amps are up, you're gonna pull more things. You could pull like a pack of bugs.
Yeah, you should never,
he's
never
talking about
AoE.
the small bugs. Do not do a single AoE spell in there. The people that are assigned to bug killing duty are going to be single targeting things.
And like even warrior DPS stuff like that.
No cleave or whirlwind.
No cleave or whirlwind. Yeah.
No blade flurry.
All right.
No blade flurry.
So there's a couple different ads here. There's the champion, which is a cleave, an AoE fear, a knock away, and then he like does a berserk kind of thing, which I think is dispellable, right? Is that the case on private servers or no?
Enrage?
Yeah, his enrage is it's a magic buff. So you should be able to dispel it.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying I'm doing
it's trankable, but I think it's the
the
Saturas, I think.
The Slayers are getting enraged right now.
Yeah,
I haven't
that's
seen the champion
trankable.
getting.
You can trank the Slayers right there, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be tranked.
Yeah, that's the Slayer. I'm talking about the champion. This
He
happens when-
hasn't enraged at all so far.
Yeah, he does it when he's lower on health. So,
Well,
then there's the Slayers, which basically do very similar things to Sartura. They do Whirlwind, they do Tranquil Frenzy, and they do a Cleave, so don't stand in front of them, please. The most important one of these is going to be the Mind Slayer. It does a mana burn, it does Mind Flay, it does Mind Flash, and it mind controls you as well. So basically, you sheep the mind control, etc., and you kill these.
Greetings, adventurers.
Quickly as
For
you
all
can.
AoE
When they
today,
die,
I
yeah,
want to go over the Fire Mage guide
okay, so
that
the
I
AoE
made.
silence as well.
So I just wrote up.
When they die, they do a horrify. It's really obnoxious.
They do an AoE horrify.
Yeah, an AoE horrify. So just expect to get feared endlessly.
What's the kill order?
The kill order is going to be Mind Slayers, then Slayers, then Champions.
Champions can be kited too.
Mind Slayers have a threat drop mechanic as well, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Slayers can be kited too.
Yeah. Everything but the mind flayers, really. You just kind of want to nuke them down. One thing that I've seen is like up on this door up here. What you'll do is like the types of mobs in the packs are random, so you can have multiple of each kind. If you have multiple mind flayers, you'd tank like a skull on the right, an X on the left, and then the next kill target on the right. So what happens is right before skull dies, all the melee can run onto X and start killing X, so they don't get horrified, and you basically ping pong between the sides, so you're not getting you're not having the melee take the horrify.
Yeah.
And then you basically just pull the Karaji Slayers back behind, and then you kite the champions around the room.
Alright, I'm gonna pull the next pack, and then we're gonna kind of get like this one that's coming up is there's no Mind Slayers, it's just Slayers and a champion. So
I remember that we would send in like people to eat the mind control on the mind players, so that the tank that needed to go in and tank it wasn't the one getting mind controlled.
Yeah. At least on private servers, it was the first thing those things saw that would be mind controlled. So you wouldn't want it to be the tanks.
So like you pull them around the corner and you have like sacrifice mind control people.
Yeah, you'd have like I don't know, like DPS warriors just like go in.
Yeah, Vengeance, here we go. Attack speed, movement speed increased, and it's dispellable. It's magic, so you can purge this off.
I think the big guys fear too, don't they?
They do. They do an intimidating shout.
They're tauntable too, I think. Try that.
I don't remember where my taunt bind is. There it is.
Yeah. So the champions and the Karaji guys, I'm pretty sure are tauntable, but the Mind Slayers are not. So, if I recall correctly, it's a big reason why they're definitely the biggest threat to the raid.
See you again, Grandmaster.
So like in this one, you have multiple Mind Slayers, so you want to tank them on different sides of that door to avoid like downtime of DPS.
And the melee should run out at like 20%.
Yeah.
Good luck, Grandmaster.
Can you try to taunt one of the Mind Slayers?
Yeah. It
He just
says
did
high
it.
threat, but it did you taunt after me free? I'll taunt.
Yeah,
it.
I didn't
taunted
see a
Audrey
taunt
before.
debuff.
There
Yeah,
it was.
it was tauntable.
Okay. Was that just the threat from your taunt? Because I didn't see like a debuff go up on it.
It was the threat from taunt because I just retaunted and it didn't move. It just said high threat.
All right.
Yeah. So they're not tauntable.
So then they're not tauntable.
Yeah, it says taunt immune. Every time I have a log, it says everybody's taunt was immune to that.
Can we get the Warcraft logs uploaded for this?
I mean, I could technically.
Hey, another
This is
copper.
a 3 Wine Slayer pack, so it'd be ping
Wow.
pong back and forth. We get the point.
It's a lot of trash.
I'm confused.
So
Are we gonna kill all of these packs?
Yes,
yes.
we are. This is gonna take basically an hour to get through the trash in here, and that's normal.
Is it a 2-hour respawn?
Yep.
Yes, it is. So it takes you an hour to go through, then you have an hour of attempts on Cthulhu, and then
Just like a few pulls.
yeah, it's a very small number of pulls.
How much is linked to Uru? Do we even know?
We do not.
Unknown.
We'll know before our raid, and we'll make the call.
Yeah.
I think this trash, and maybe all trash, is where like all the warriors are tanks, because like people will get mind controlled, and I don't know. It's like if warriors weren't already always wearing plate, like they probably should for this.
Yep.
Yeah. On any trash in AQ40, if you're a DPS, you need to be wearing beefier gear. Like target some of these guys. I don't think any of the trash in here is level 63. So that means, Bloodvine, stuff like that. Okay, well, whatever. It's not a big deal if you get resists on this stuff. It's much bigger deal if we have a bunch of people dying because they have 2,000 health.
Yeah, casters should be wearing their farm gear. Warriors should be wearing their like hybrid tank gear, at least all plate, preferably just.
For casters too, I mean, at least when we're progressing, for things like Cthulhu, isn't it probably a better idea for us to maybe even give up our Bloodvine and put on something that's just got a shitload of health and a bunch of goddamn mana on there?
If we're gonna die from like an eye beam on Cthulhu, no matter how much health you have, it really doesn't matter.
And we're not going to be in the stomach, so that's not going to be an issue.
I mean, you will for a very, very short amount of time.
And then we're going to leave. As
But
casters.
on Cthulhu, if we're wiping because there was a terrible mistake made, not because someone didn't have slightly enough stamina.
Gotcha. So we're going to wear our bursty shit so that we can kill
You're
him
gonna wear
in as
gear.
few phases as
You're
possible.
gonna wear your big boy pumper gear because we have a 45-second window to do damage.
Kill him. Yeah.
You also don't need 16 hit for trash, so Bloodvine isn't blessed in slot anyways for trash.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting
We're
at.
all saying this. We're all agreeing with each other.
I'm agreeing with you.
Fun.
I'm agreeing with Satan. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
You blink through.
All right, so these things do something slightly different. These also drain mana. However, when they reach full mana, instead of doing an explosion that does a fuck ton of damage, it will do an explosion that strips all of your buffs and puts your health to 1, which is an issue especially if this guy's near. So what's going to happen is that these nullifiers are going to be tanked far away from where the warder is, and we're going to kill them first, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, don't stand anywhere near the warder if the nullifier is about to explode, because you'll just die. The warders have a couple different abilities. They AoE silence. They have a thing called Dust Cloud that reduces melee hit chance by a fuck ton. I don't think it's 100%, but it's like 75 or something like that. So you're gonna have a really hard time doing stuff. That's mainly gonna be on the tank though when we're killing the nullifiers. But it's fine. They do a Fire Nova, I think, too. They can AoE Fear, and they will root individual players from time to time. I'm just going to pull this pack.
Once you've dealt with all the Cthulhu trash, like the big packs,
These are the easy packs in comparison. That doesn't mean like take a vacation. It just means like it's less stressful. You basically you bring the nullifiers way away from stuff. You kill those, and then you kill the Anubis on the border. There's this Fire Nova. It does a decent amount of damage, but it should be fine as long as you're not at 1 health. So
The thing does a banish on you too, so you get banished I think for like 8 seconds or something when they do if they explode. The nullifiers. So if the nullifiers get full, the 1 hit point debuff also banishes you for 8 seconds, so it won't kill you unless you get out of the banish without a heal.
We should mana burn them. Is kind of the
yeah.
the moral of that story.
It should be Viper Stings, like up the ass. I'm trying to get these guys to drain enough mana. I'm gonna kill that one dude though.
And private servers are probably overtuned, but the big Egyptian guys, like you just couldn't even have melee go and fight them. Like melee just had to AFK. Like melee would kill the 2 guys with wings, and then they would just go AFK.
Because the fear and the Fire Nova fucks. It does a lot of damage. If I remember correctly.
On the next one, can we get Mockthul in there to see what it does to him?
Yeah, sure. These guys are almost at full mana.
Exciting.
I'm popping off.
This is riveting content, I know.
I'm about to pop off.
That's going in your file.
Got him.
Seems like they're just straight up generating 5% per like 5 seconds. Soon, TM. Oh, there it is.
Did it?
Oof.
It's
there
a
we
stun.
go. Yes,
It's
there's
not a
the
banish.
banish on Mock. You see him? He's banished now. He's free. So when you're stunned, you're immune to all damage or whatever. I recall back in the day we had that, like, we didn't have DPS like we have now, so we would they would inevitably do it, and it would keep the healers like further back, and the healers wouldn't. I think that's a 40-yard range, and then the healers would come in and heal the people that were banished before the banish wore off, so they didn't die from the explosion.
All right, we're gonna get Mock in the middle of this in a second here. I'm gonna kill this stuff that isn't the order. All right, Mock, come on over. Keep in mind the scaling's gonna be wonky too. A lot of AFKing to figure out mechanics. There's Dust Cloud on Wiggles.
The Hunter Pet is just standing there taking it.
At the very least, it isn't novaing very often, so it probably people could probably just go in and kill it.
We can play these by ear.
Alright, I'm just gonna have this friend run around. Just follow me, Mock. Use the AoE silence. It's 10 seconds. Presumably he's gonna do his thing soon. Someone kill the other ship, please don't kill anything. Oh no, don't.
Oh crap, sorry.
They're tauntable, so there's that. No, Mock, run over here, please. Oh, the mana burn is also a fear, so that's... Where's Mock?
Here. You know what I mean? I'm creating my own place where
Get
certain
over here.
negative fucked up.
Can this fucker just AoE, please?
Might have to do with how many people are in range or something.
Alright, everyone stack up on top of this dick.
They might have just gotten rid of it.
No, he did it before.
First one did it. I don't know if it's like abilities that they have.
Yeah, maybe
Not all of them do it. I don't think the first one was doing the dust cloud.
Yeah, they could just be individual abilities. Alright. Well, I'm gonna clear out this one really annoying pack, and then we're gonna deal with the other ones. But first... This is the Horrify, by the way. It's really annoying. It's also a mana burn, so range don't want to be anywhere close to the Mind Slayer when it dies. I forgot that it was a mana burn too. Alright, Mock, stand on this.
Solman, threat god.
Do something. I punched it. My bad.
Yeah, they can just have random abilities. Like they don't all have that fire thing.
All right, cool. It's good to know. All right, this is Aurora's room. The giant worm. I haven't actually done this fight. CFG, you've done this a lot, I assume, right? I know he does.
Yeah.
He does a sandblast thing, where everyone should be standing behind the main tank.
Where's the boss?
He's over there. He's that little dust pile.
I think
think
you can basically pretend the sandblast is just wing buffet, but it's a boss that can't be taunted. So it just, I mean, it's a very similar mechanic, basically. But
Don't you want like a lot of the DPS to get hit with it too?
It does a lot of damage. I don't think you want to get hit by it.
Then
Really, it's the tank is faced one way. Everyone stands in kind of a U behind the tank, behind the boss, and then as someone creeps up on threat, they wanna go around the U and stand behind the tank, like away from the other casters.
All right.
So it's basically the ignite mage is gonna run from behind the boss in the U to behind the tank.
All right. I want to pull this so we can see positioning. He also submerges.
Wait, are you saying that you want the tank to get hit by the sandblast as well?
well, one tank will, but I think the idea is if you're the other tank, like you're second on threat, you definitely don't want to get hit by the sandblast because now, I mean, who's third? Who's fourth? You know.
Everybody stands behind the boss in a U, besides
This is
the tank.
submerged. There are a whole bunch of bugs that are going to pop out in a second, but they randomly fixate people, run from them. It does damage if it's close to you. We're going to just kill these ads when they pop back up, but no one was really in melee range, so.
He's also like a mini rag, and he does a knockback. So, and if no one's in his range, he starts fucking people. So
Someone run into melee. Run into melee. Someone run into melee. All right. Hopefully he sandblasts soon.
My understanding of the sandblast is it's like a cone on the highest threat, and it like doesn't care if you're melee or ranged threat. Like it.
Yeah. So what we're saying is that there's okay. Can everyone get in like a rough U shape? That's not me. We're gonna align off of my. We're gonna align off of.
Opposite you. Diamond's opposite you.
Yeah. Just align off of me in a U pattern, and be on the backside of where. We're just stand on the marks. Fuck, that works too. Let's just do it with marks. Fuck it. It's easier.
Not gonna have marks, impossible.
Yeah, I know, but it's just to demonstrate the point.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so basically everyone's in an arc from moon around to triangle. I'm the main tank. I'm standing here. Tanner pulls aggro because he's a weird hunter god and somehow does it. So he's targeted by sandblast, so he would just run over to basically behind where I was standing, so over here, and he'd get hit. Then tank number 2, second suitor, would have aggro then, and he would just run it over back to where I was, and everyone else would stay roughly the same. That makes sense.
I don't think that the tank, if it's like a fire ignite mage taking the thing, I don't think that the tank has to take the buffet mechanic in that case.
You can try to have him at like 90 degrees too. I'm pretty sure it's like almost 180 though, the sandblast. But it's better if I would say generally if it's a choice between the main tank getting hit with it or the whole raid getting hit with it, we want the tank to get. Yeah. Like threat might be harder, but it's better than all the raid damage that will go out. So
Alright, come over here and stand, Mock.
I mean, just the fact that they're doing it so rarely means it doesn't really matter how much damage it does. Like, even if it's doing like 4K.
Yeah, that's fair. Fuck it.
The big man himself.
Now, this is the long run up to Cthulhu. This is something that we're going to have to do every time we wipe on this, so we're going to try to minimize the number of wipes, obviously, but...
Get used to this hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we'll probably want to, like, line up at least a couple of times in the Twin Emperor's room.
To practice, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going with the Hunter bait strat, which I will explain in a second.
Boy, I've never heard of that.
We should just practice before AQ40 comes out. Just use like Gar's room or some shit.
Alright, so we're going to be here. Everyone's going to stack up on the wall. It's really, 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 really important that you don't get into line of sight of the boss. If for any reason you're going to the other side, you're going to run all the way over here, and you're going to very, very slowly run across. And then you're going to make it to this torch, and then you can go back in. Anything other than that, you're going to pull the boss, and we're all going to die instantly. And we all get mad at you. And it's going to be a whole thing. If we are wiping relatively early to this, I'd say do not pop your consumes until we're in position. Because you're just going to rage if you pop a mongoose and then someone instantly wipes us. So the way this is going to work is we are going to have GP wearing a shit ton of nature resistance and a greater nature protection pot, and he is going to run into the room and bait the eye. So I'm going to peek around this. You can see his eye in here on my stream. What he's going to do is the eye beam. He will pick a target and he will fire the eye beam at them exactly 3 times. What it does is it's basically chain lightning, except every target it jumps to, the damage becomes like significant. Like it I don't think it doubles it, but it gets really big really fast. So if you chain it to other people, you'll just wipe. So spacing is going to be very important. So the way that we're going to do this is GP is going to go in, he's going to bait it, he's going to run off to the side, like way off to the side. And when he gets targeted with it first, we're all immediately going to, like we can do this right now as a group, we're all going to run in. I'm going to be GP, and we're all going to run in. We're going to meet at the very edge of the black, and we're going to stand there, and when it picks a new target, everyone is going to run into the eye, and the target that it picks is going to run back towards the door as fast as possible.
Not kill the boss.
Yeah, don't attack anything. Like, I'm going to bait the first thing, then you guys are going to immediately go into the... What's up?
As a quick aside, so after that person that runs away from the eye gets hit, once that cast goes out, everyone needs to run to their assigned spot, and there will be a spreadsheet with where you're supposed to stand in the room.
We are going to have a whole bunch of marks on melee players. You should align yourself off of your designated melee player, and the melee players will align themselves off of their mark. But I'm going to run in and bait it, and you guys are all going to run in and stand at the very edge of the black. Here we go. Alright, he's on me. He's IBing once, twice, 3 times. You guys are all late. It's on me again for some reason. 4. So you're standing at the edge of the black. You need to be stacked up, completely stacked up. He's going to pick a new target here. I don't know why he hasn't already.
Wow, this boss looks easy.
Alright, Kind Hunter. So that got kind of fucked because...
We knew when you wanted us to go.
Yeah,
so
fair.
Everyone was afraid to go too early.
The way it's going to work basically is that GP is going to go in, and everyone else is going to run in like.
You can practice again
3
after you
seconds
kill him.
later.
So
Yeah.
you want to just. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, everyone will go to your assigned spots. Your job is to kill tentacles as fast as possible in this phase. This is another one of his abilities. It's called Dark Glare. He's going to do it. It is comically slow. It will basically kill you if you get hit with it. When it goes out, we're all going to move as a group in the direction that it is traveling, and you're going to move to the exact opposite side of the boss from where you were. This is going to be super important for the melee players to know, and everyone else just follow your assigned melee mark.
During this time, he can't do the chained beam, by the way. So
you can get as
this
close
is a
as you
great
want.
time to pump a bunch of damage into him, and then get back to your spot right as it ends. Everybody needs to be back in their spot, but on the other side of the room. So that's something we'll practice too when we're doing our run-in practice and our positioning practice. Is everybody moving around in a circle and then finding their spot again.
The second eye tentacles spawn, kill them as soon as possible. Eye tentacles are pretty much the #1 priority, and then there's going to be claw tentacles in this phase as well. This phase is different in the sense that the eye has a health pool, and we are going to kill the eye. So whenever there's not a tentacle in your designated area, like I'm a melee player and there's tentacles on the other side of the room, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stand exactly where I'm assigned to stand and stay here. And I'm going to do damage to the boss. Up, the eyes spawned. I'm going to kill the eyes now. Up, Dark Glare happened. It's going this way. We're all going to run over, and I'm going to end up going to the other side of the boss. If you notice, the mind flay that the eye tentacles do is it slows, so please just deal with it. I'm now on the exact opposite side. Everyone has time to line up, get in position, and he should be ending Dark Glare soon, but you can get a shit ton of damage in on him while the Dark Glare is happening.
Even during Dark Glare, though, tentacles are prio. The eye tentacles. Eye tentacles are always prio on this fight.
In all phases. New eye tentacles, kill them.
No big CDs though, probably during any of this though, right?
Big
Not even
CDs are
stars.
saved for the first vulnerability.
As long as it'll be up before the invulnerability, we'll get there.
Well,
You
big
can pop-
CDs being like recklessness and stuff like that. You can pop 3 minutes. You can
Cooldown's
pop 3 minutes. I
subjective,
would
right?
don't
Somewhere a minute and a
pop.
half.
It's 3 minutes. Anything 3 minutes or below, you can pop.
Okay,
Anything
probably do it during
longer
the
than that, you can't.
I
Probably
would
do it for
say that the first Dark Glare, just pop your CDs and like don't pop recklessness or anything that won't be up for phase 2. We want
Will I have
as much
5
damage.
minutes?
No, do not use 5 minutes.
Okay, use 3 only, Roger.
Yeah, just use 3. All right.
Okay, can we push
so
into phase 2?
I'm going to push him to phase 2. I'm going to kill the eye. All right, he's going to pop up. So for phase 2, there's still going to be the tentacles spawning around the room, but then in addition to that, there's going to be 2 other types of tentacles. There's going to be a giant claw tentacle, that thing, which is going to need to be tanked and killed. Then there's going to be a giant eye tentacle. Now that's very important because the giant eye tentacle does the same beam that his eye does, that chains, except it's interruptible. So we're going to have people go over there and kill it as fast as possible. In this phase, you can be closer to people as long as you're dealing with the giant eye tentacles quickly, because there's no...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We can kind of group up around the gongs over there in kind of a U shape around Cthulhu. Just makes it easier because you have the healers closer to everybody, and then you assign, because rogues are going to be more focused on interrupting the eye tentacles. You have the warriors killing, or like the giant eyes. You have the warriors on the small eyes and the rogues on the giant eyes to interrupt. But
Do not kill a giant eye if it spawns. I want to show an example of it. This is the giant claw tentacle.
The warriors, we can assign a couple warriors to kill the eye tentacles on the other side, and they intercept through and kill them. Oh, someone made him vulnerable.
Guys, don't do anything stupid, please. Just
stop doing mechanics. Like
just.
But we can kind of group up around this side of the room, and then when the eye tentacles come up, it's just prio for warriors and rogues that aren't, you know, assigned to be interrupters to get on the other side of him and kill those eye tentacles. It's like every 45 seconds though, but it's better to have the raid a little more grouped up during this part, just because it saves us from having one healer that's, you know, designated and then a bunch of tentacles come up near them and they're, you know,
Or they get eaten, and then
yeah, and
suddenly
then
you don't have your healer. All right.
Yeah.
If you get eaten, and right now specifically just for the people currently in this group on retail right now, disregard this for anything. If you get swallowed, immediately just run out. Just get out of there. Get out of the stomach. I want to, again, if there's a giant, you can kill little eye tentacles, you can kill giant claw tentacles, don't kill a giant eye tentacle.
I got eaten, so you can actually just look at my stream and use it, so we don't have to wait for you to get it, Slappy. I'm not going to kill the things, though.
Your giant eye tentacles in the back.
Slappy's eaten too.
All right, okay,
Oh, you're eating. Okay.
I'm not eating. I'm still up top. Okay, so giant thing. The first couple interrupts are probably going to be, oh my god, I did too much damage. It's probably going to be, like a death coil. Just like the second you see one spawn, like if you're a warlock and we're gonna have an assignment order for that. You're just gonna death coil it immediately. And then rogues are going to be able to get into melee and endlessly kick it. And for those kicks, you are going to listen to the kick rotation. We're going to double it up. But don't kick when it's not your rotation. Unless like you're positive it's about to go off, do not kick. Because people burn their kicks early and they don't call their kicks. And it's a problem that we've had in main raid. Where someone will kick when it's not their turn, and then when it comes to be their turn, they don't have their kick off cooldown because they used it.
I would say generally during this phase, caster prio is any of the large things, and then like warrior DPS prio is the eye tentacles that are coming up. And then obviously you want to kill the giant eye tentacles before the giant claw tentacles.
Is it possible to counterspell those giant eye tentacles or not?
Yes.
Right now, yes.
So anyone can help out with the kicks, but rogues have lower globals, which is why like rogues are usually assigned to do things like this. Warriors have intercept, so it's a lot easier for them to get around.
Counterspell is off the GCD though, so that's like the ideal thing.
Yeah,
you guys can kill the eye tentacles. Like honestly, we should just be keeping the room clear.
Are we just waiting for you to get eaten at this point?
Yep.
How much health did the little?
Okay, if you get eaten, just stay down there. Just stay down
I
there.
should have just stayed down. I've been eaten like 3 times.
If you get eaten, stay down. You'll be fine.
How much do these eye tentacles have?
It's not
much at all.
The scaling is completely wrong. Like
Oh.
you,
They should have like 10k health, I want to say.
They have 1787 right now on this,
Yeah,
but they do not have very much health. So.
And they can be interrupted, which you should 100% do. And they can, if you're fighting one and you see one that's not being fought, you can,
I got eaten.
You can like throw a grenade at it or whatever.
Okay, shush. Let him talk about
Sorry.
So this is what happens when you get eaten. You get put in the stomach. You will gain a stacking debuff on you that deals more and more nature damage. It goes away the second you leave. So once I think you get to like 5 or 6, you should get out of there. Then there are these 2 flesh tentacles. These 2 things are super important. We're going to kill the right one first, and if you get down here, your job is to kill the right one within your allotted time. If there's a healer, you can stay down a little bit longer, but kill the right one, and then the left one, we're going to want to whittle down to not very much health, like 10%. Probably less than that when we get better at it, but you are not going to kill the second one until it is called for. If you kill it early, you're going to fuck us.
When you go to leave Slappy, can you miss the thing to show people where to not stand so you don't get CFG'd back down?
Yeah. I will. But so we're gonna kill the one on the right. I don't know who that was that just went up top. That was wrong. You're not
Sorry.
supposed to do that. I'm going to kill the one on the right. The one on the left, we're going to get this one low again. If it's low and we're not calling for it to be killed, and you're like, oh, I really want to do some damage, but God damn it, dude. Why the fuck would you attack it? All right.
Just wait.
Just don't touch Cthulhu.
No one do anything. You guys just wait up top.
So when people are down here, something important to do, hopefully like DBM does this for us or something like that, or some add-on, but it is kind of important for people to call out percentages of the tentacles, or if one is about to die or something, the first one, just so the people up top kind of have an idea of how the stomach is going. Like, communication's really key. Obviously, we don't want 1 million people blowing up the comms during this, but
At the very, very, very beginning, you can probably multi-dot the ads, but it's more important that we just kill the right one. So I'm going to kill the right one. And then the left one is going to be low. And then after we kill all the eye tentacles, after there's an eye tentacle rape party that happens, we're going to kill all of those, and then the call will be made to kill this tentacle. And then we are going to kill it. Now, what this is going to do is it will start a 45-second window where Cthulhu up top can actually take damage, and you're going to pop everything known to man, and you're going to do as much fucking damage to it as possible. If there's a giant claw tentacle up, you ignore it. It just gets tanked. But your job is to just do as much fucking damage to Cthulhu as you possibly can. We're probably going to have 2 vulnerability windows, maybe 3 if we suck complete dick. But I'm going to kill it, and I'm going to show you the what it looks like when he's vulnerable, and I'm going to show you how to get up. So first off, the way that you get out of here is you run into the center of this little platform in front of me. When you're doing that and you're getting out, you run to the center and you stay there. You do not move. If you run to the center and you kind of like run slightly off, you'll get launched up. You will not come out of here. You will fall back down and you will take a massive amount of fall damage and you're going to die. And that's a problem.
Something else about weakness phase is when the call's going out to kill the final tentacle.
All right,
Oh, I did it.
I couldn't even do it.
I did it.
You
Yay,
have
look,
to,
I'm doing it. Oh no, I'm dead.
It's honestly hard to do.
You don't have to run into the middle of it to trigger it. You just run onto the edge and then just wait there. Like,
just stand on where my body is and you'll die.
Yeah, like here, I'll turn on my stream for a second.
Anyway, we should probably start stacking the proper debuffs onto.
Yes, you before the call to kill it is made, we will be stacking sunders. We will be putting up all the curses that we want. We will be putting everything up top that we possibly can.
That side won't work. You gotta be. It's on the right side, at least in this version.
Okay, when you're going up, stand in the dead center and do not move.
Right here.
If you stand in the dead center and you do not move, it will be fine.
So generally, if you're a healer, you stay and heal people. If you're a DPS, you stay until you feel like you're gonna die. And if there's a healer, you stay a little bit longer. And if you're a tank, you leave immediately.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to kill this, and then
pushing it.
We're going to have a little bit of text. See down here, it says Cthulhu is weakened, but he turns purple, so it's really hard to notice. But he takes a shit ton more damage right now. Don't ignore that buff.
Damn,
and in this, you dump as much damage into him as possible. After we go through 1, if we're gods, or 2 vulnerability phases, he should be dead. And then we loot it and we laugh because we've won the game.
Final phase 5.
We're gonna get some Therazane's links.
Mockthal.
Tentacle trinkets?
We're gonna be using personal loot for AQ40 as well.
Alright, so everyone back up on your mounts. We're going and we're doing the the run-in.
Can we set a time when we're gonna practice this? Like maybe Tuesday.
Just be one of the raids.
MC. I'm just saying, just so we, everyone knows, like, hey, after MC on Tuesday or Wednesday, we're gonna do this.
On Wednesday because we don't do Ani on that night.
Okay, sounds good
So
to me.
we're gonna just run into a big circular area and not kill each other.
Okay. So what's gonna happen is, Tanner, can you play the role of GP to bait the thing? All right, don't go in yet. Don't go in yet. Don't go in yet. So we're gonna be like, okay, GP, run in. Okay, everyone else run in. Now we all run in. He should be getting hit by the eye. Should be the second one. Then we stop here. Third one, new target. Let's say that Nolman gets it. We don't. So every single person runs immediately into the center, except Nolman, who books it back towards the.
Just killed us.
Who just murdered us all.
Yeah, great job, Nolan.
So we're here.
Well, actually, he didn't. He's AFK for the pull. He didn't kill us.
Okay, well that works too. So he's here, and Mockthul gets it. So we're all in the center. And Mock runs away. Except Mock. Yeah, okay, good.
So the way I've done this in the past is that even you don't need to exactly stack where you're stacked, and you can actually kind of have everyone move along the black kind of toward their spot, and then once it goes out, you just run like away from the circle and everyone else runs into the circle. That makes it a lot easier for people to get into their spots after
Yeah, that sounds good.
off.
We're not going to have all mounts immediately, which is going to suck a little bit. But yeah, just run along the rim towards the general area of your spot, and if your name is called, you get out. If your name is not called, you get in. There's a lot of things that are going to happen during this raid where if you do not listen and you do not act immediately and you do not do what you're told, you are going to wipe all of us and we're all going to be mad at you. And if you do it continually, you will not raid here.
Pretty confident that we're gonna have working add-on that's gonna be telling us who's got the next beam, basically.
Yeah, it's called target a target.
Yeah.
It's built into the game.
Okay, so he does target a target for enough time before launching this sumbitch. That
Yeah, it's like 3 seconds.
Oh, cool. All right, that's actually
or two seconds maybe. Like it's enough time so that if people aren't retarded, it's fine. But if people are retarded and they don't pay attention,
I mean, everyone should have target of target on and just see their name there and move.
Mm.
I'm sure everyone's gonna
But
spurg out.
one of the things
name
that
anyway.
like is, I know that we're going in the Placarus run through here like right now, but there are a lot of people just doing whatever the fuck they wanted and not listening. That's not gonna fly during raid. I'm putting my like serious hat on for progression. Like I know we've been like clown towning it up in PWL. That's not going to be the case in AQ until everything's very much on farm. You are going to listen. You're going to do exactly what you were told. If you're told to do something and that ends up being wrong and we wipe because of that, that is on me. But I'll be mad at myself, not you. Just do what you're told.
One other thing about add-ons, once we have working timers, when you're killing the last tentacle, you want to listen to what's happening like on the surface, but you can also just look at the timers and like if you kill the last tentacle within, let's say, 10 seconds before another ad wave is going to come up, like that'll be okay. Basically, the danger that can happen if you don't do that is you're like, should I kill it? Should I kill it? And on the surface, they're like, no, not yet. We're still finishing off the ads. And then they finally call to kill it. And then you kill it, and it was too late. And you end up killing it exactly as a whole new wave of things spawn. And then you lose your entire vulnerability. And you probably wipe because people are like split.
If there are a couple eyes up and like they're at pretty low health, then I would say we should kill it. And by that I mean like the call to kill it would be like immediately all the warriors that aren't actually killing things apply Sunder. And you can have curses on him like super early, so
yeah. But anyway, it's basically being late to kill the tentacle is a million times worse than being early killing the tentacle. That's what I'm saying.
They kill it, and you're like, yeah, we're working on it, and you push it to that next ad wave. That's where the real nightmare comes out.
Don't
Yeah,
use
exactly.
any, like, when it's low, don't use dots or anything like that. The name of the game is to just do as much direct damage as possible. So if for any reason it's called to, like, stop, you're going to stop. Take your hands off your key. Well, you're going to face your player
So
away. So you don't
Are mages
auto-attack.
just not using fire down there then, maybe, so that we don't ignite? And
I mean,
get a big
you
rolling
can
time?
use fire. You can use fire down there.
Okay.
Just don't roll a fat ignite on it when it's about to die, you know?
If it does, then just stop doing every single fucking thing.
Oh, in mages, when it comes to ignite, there's going to be times where I tell you to let it drop, and you need to hit escape and start casting Frostbolt instead. And if you let a fire damage spell through, it's going to be a problem.
Actually, secret strategy: Pyroblast. When you have to drop fire, you can actually cast Pyroblast instead, because the ignite will drop before any of it hits.
Yeah, because it's such a long cast. You don't have to do Pyroblast. If you do Frostbolt and then start casting again, it'll be plenty of time for it to drop. Ignite's a 4-second debuff.
So I have a question. Does anyone have any questions? That has been, more quiet during this.
Yeah, what's your question?
That's my question.
There's
a ton of information. So
not stupid questions now. Like, ask stupid questions now, even in private if you're embarrassed. But it's not acceptable that you didn't ask and you fuck us because you were afraid.
Yeah, I got one. So the guy after gunpowder who's running out like towards the original spot you came in, is he LOSing over there, or is he like what?
No, he's just getting away from other players.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you're spacing when you're in your spots. Everyone should have a range check, and you should be like more than, I think it's 10 yards away from other people.
Have we decided what pull strategy we're using for Cthulhu?
Yes, we literally have just gone over it 3 times now.
Yeah, I was AFK for each of those. I'm sorry, I thought we're...
Alright, we're gonna go all the way back to the start.
I mean, you just gotta say the strategy, dude.
GP's doing it.
GP's doing
banning
the
up
pull.
first.
GP's doing the pull.
Are we letting him eat 3 and then we go in?
Yeah.
No, we're letting him...
He's getting ahead of the pack, then we're following behind him more than 10 yards so it doesn't chain us. Then we're going to the black area.
So come back here. Everyone come back and stack where I am right now, please.
We're doing the personal individually strategy, right? We're
Yes.
on?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, then that's all you needed to say. I understand how the pull works.
Okay. We're gonna practice it like one more time. Alright. Tanner, go. Rest of us go now. And then as you're running in, run along this.
I-beam 2, I-beam 3. It's on gun.
Everyone runs in the center. That's not gun. If you're gun, you run to the outside.
Now get in your spot.
And now you run to your spot, which for melee for me it would be like here. And for other people it would be here, 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 here.
So you guys need to wait till he starts casting the chain lightning on me before you run in, right?
Yeah, he needs to start casting the very first one, and then we can run in.
Yeah.
It's going to be near immediate. We're going to give you, like...
Yeah, because his aggro range is massive. It's way bigger than it was when you guys ran in on retail.
Yeah, it's, he'd, like, aggro you, like...
The second you peek, you're gonna aggro.
If you're standing right here, where I'm standing right now, like 2 yards off this wall, he will aggro you. You need to be like, if you ever go to the other side, you need to be literally running into this wall as you move over.
Yeah, that was dope. What the fuck was that? Alright, so...
Lock portal. Gateway.
Retail's not fun, Wargon. Don't do it.
I want to play Mount Collection Simulator.
That part is fun.
Anyone else? Any questions? It's 1 million people in here, so don't be shy. Yeah, send it to Zalaka.
We'll get the post up. We'll get the new channels and stuff up soon with all the resources and stuff, and a spot for people to ask questions.
So, because we have so much melee, are we just gonna be doubling up in the black smoke area for the melee?
No, we're just gonna run a slightly later comp for that, or there's gonna be some melee that are playing off.
Well,
they're just holding their dicks.
Melee
Like,
in Ring
dagger
2
rogues
is
are
good.
kind of
Melee in Ring 2 is good because they can focus the rape party while the melee on the boss stays on the boss. So it's good to have melee in both rings.
When you're talking about when you're running in and someone gets targeted and everybody runs in and the person targeted runs out,
Mm-hmm.
are we going to do that like rigidly? Because if let's say if someone on the opposite side of Cthulhu is being targeted and you run to the center, if they fuck up, you might lose like the entire raid instead of losing like 5 people or something.
Well, you're gonna lose like 20 people, and if you're losing over 10 people on the poll, it's basically a wipe anyway. So I think if the poll doesn't work out in general, like we have a decent amount of people die, like it's not really it's up to Slappy, but I think it's basically a wipe at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think probably like the bulk of the responsibility to deviate from just getting to your spot is probably should be on the person who's getting targeted.
It
rather
is
than
100% on the person who's getting targeted.
like if you're running and you know you see the person next to you's targeted, like maybe you veer a little bit inside, like, but I don't know. I think maybe there's a danger of like overcorrecting and making it too much of like an elaborate dance when it's really just like get to the spot as soon as possible.
Well, for that, like for the immediate swap, everyone should be basically going in the general direction of it through the center of this, and the other person just needs to get out of the center. And then ideally, people will be spread out enough after the second round of 3 so that's not going to nuke everyone.
Doesn't he do a little like squirt thing where he like shoots you out of the center?
When he's an eye?
Oh, maybe not when he's an eye. Okay.
Another thing that I don't know if this was just a slip of the tongue, but after the first 3, I'm pretty sure he only does 1 cast on each person. So after gunpowder takes 3, it's not gonna go to the person who gets targeted next 3 times in a row.
Oh, okay, so it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, then 1, 1, 1, 1. All right.
Correct.
Yeah, that'd be another reason not to like overcompensate and clump too much, because the next one's going to go on the clump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately when that person separates from the raid, people need to start moving toward their spot. Like once you know that you're safe, then you need to like start moving toward your spot. And it's gonna be a lot harder without mounts. So that's just something that we're gonna have to deal with. And we're not all gonna have mounts for a pretty long time, which is gonna be great.
The way you deal with that though is you just have the far side have the mounts. The side near the entrance, those are the people that don't get mounts.
Oh, I'm gonna need a mount since I'm running in, right?
Mm-hmm. I think mount prior is going to be tanks, GP, then we can work on Farsiders.
What about like swiftness potions?
That is an option for you to use. You should be using greater shadow protection, greater nature, like well in advance. But yeah, you could swiftness potion. Rogues could sprint.
I would wait on shadow. You can pre-pot like a lesser nature or greater nature, and then like
Pop
I wouldn't
shadow
pop a
mid-combat.
shadow protection, yeah,
Oh,
because
just to get
you
nuked
don't.
by that, yeah.
Yeah, like don't spend too much gold before you run into the room, guys. Like my plan is I'm gonna get my food buff and I'm gonna pre-pot like a lesser or greater nature depending on how much confidence I have, and then Once I get in my spot, I'm gonna pop all the rest of my melee consumes, like Mongoose, the Jujus, anything else. Like you don't want to pop 200 gold worth of consumes just to fucking walk in and get eye beamed. It's gonna be very disheartening. So be smart. Don't waste $1 billion gold doing this.
And yes, he is not centered on the center of the room. That's a thing. It's just, it's whatever.
I can't take it.
It's really like, it's infuriating, but
I
let's
didn't
keep it
notice that
way.
till you said that, and now I'm triggered.
Well, I gotta go to bed, but if you guys
Yeah.
have questions that you want to ask me, PM me.
There's gonna be a channel put up. Anyone that has like AQ knowledge can answer it for sure. Like Nolan, Wargon, CFG are all great resources.
King Jasker's in front of me again.
CFG and Nolan are probably the least judgmental people ever. So.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to Wargon, who's probably the most judgmental person in the guild.
I will answer your questions. Ask the questions now. Like
Yes, please.
I won't be mad at you for asking questions. Like
The less people that ask in DMs, the better as well. Like, there's no reason to be like afraid to ask because chances are someone else wants to ask the same thing.
Honestly, if you get asked something, you should answer it in DMs, and then you should immediately post an elaborate answer to that in the channel as well. You're gonna be like, this question was posed
by Mock.
Okay.
Mockful asked me earlier.
And when the resources are up, please go through it at least once. Ideally, you go through it more than once so you know the fights very well from the videos and the guides. We don't have raid on Thursday, so use your Thursday raid time. Spend 3 hours, study up, get it done. If you show up and you're asking silly questions that are answered in videos or that are that, and it's not like just to be sure, it's more like, oh, how is this? Because you like clearly don't understand things, then I'm probably gonna be pissed.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm going to be triggered as fuck.
You're
And Vrokar is gonna have to deal with me typing in chat angrily.
And how many flasks are we supposed to use during the raid?
Flasks 2.
Unless you're a hero, then you need like 10.
Yeah. Just
free-
flash pot every time you room.
Free, I think we have a
Flasks
whole
aren't
whack of
required, but they are insanely recommended.
Yeah, just to Slappy's point too, like, things are gonna happen. We're gonna wipe running into this room. Let Slappy be the one to be upset at people. I'm the one to talk here too. Is like I'm gonna try to keep as much of a positive attitude as possible. It's Slappy's job to bring down the chopper. It's not all fucking freak out at each other every time something bad happens.
I'll try to be a lot more useful with my feedback instead of be more aggressive.
Be aggressive.
But yeah,
I got a question. So with the Cthulhu markers on the guild dock, is there going to be like icons inside the Cthulhu room that we can use each time to know the spots?
Kind of.
So the spots don't generally matter as much as like
your alignment based off of one another.
So the melee just kind of gets on the first ring goes around Cthulhu and makes sure that they're evenly spaced, and then the people in the second and third rings just base their positioning off of like, oh, I'm at the back left of Dorgu, right? So I need to be, at his back left and not chaining anybody. And then, someone in ring 3 is going to be the back left of me and the back right of me. It's don't get too hung up about like, oh, I stand on this little crack. You need to be a little more flexible than that. It's just about not chaining people and then the positioning kind of comes down to relativity.
Align yourself off of the person in your assigned group that is ahead of you, basically, and to your side. And everyone, like, ring 2 aligns itself off of the melee, ring 3 aligns itself off of ring 2.
Am I correct in sort of assuming that, sure, it's very, very easy to chain each other, but there's actually more space in this room than you need for 40 people to all stand doing shit without
Very
chaining?
much so. There's
So you don't need to
this
be on
room
a
is
pixel.
massive.
It's not Hygen. You don't need to be on a pixel.
Yeah, and there's enough people spread out so that, like, don't be a hero. Don't try to, like, go move to go kill, like, a tentacle slightly faster in the first phase. That's whatever. Just do your assignment, stick to your assignment. And if I tell you to do something and that ends up getting us, wiping us, it is 100% on me, and you did the right thing because you listened. But if I tell you to do something and you don't do it and you wipe us, that's a different story entirely.
All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for putting this together, officers.
You guys do a lot of stuff.
Let's do some ZG. Anybody?
Have that meeting right now.
Yeah, the rogues. Let's all hop down to mansplaining 101.
Big raid tonight. Big Z.